On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging the hole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world in adjustment. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and intact? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination intact. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my matchless Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging the hole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world in a just. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medas.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Body is your ma. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it's a Star Radio UK and the morning show.
This is Starr Radio. This is UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Star Radio. Star Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Love for you runs deep. All of you makes my heart beat. You make
fade. Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world.
Okay, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you on other planets as well, we want to salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Star Radio UK Morning Show. Today is the 30th day of August, the year 2023, with the time now 10:39 from the House of London. And of course, it is the Wednesday edition of the Morning Show. And as I do say all the time, with the the Wednesday edition of the Morning Show, the four position will start running out of time, you know. But this morning, my heart has been gladdened by some news that I had. I came in and all confused, some of the confused.com, missing out on some of the stories. I was having a chat with my producer. We were looking at some of the other stories making the round, and we came like one of the stories that is making the rounds in Gabon, on the African continent once again. And I was like, whoops, that's a good one there for me. And he says, why? And I said, well, you know what? The Zongoman says I use the ballot box, but when you use the ballot box and you see before you that you are being swindled, that you are being shortchanged, then what do? But wherever you are, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages.
Love for you runs deep.
So let me say good morning to Mr. Olayomi Koiki and my able producer, Mr. Francis Gai. Felix, good morning to you. It's happened again. Kojodi, good morning. Let me say a special good morning also to Bishop Adeshina, Anthony Adideji, Aziz Bedezerik, Shamsuddin, Olakunle. So Maxwell, good morning to you. And a special good morning also goes to Moyua. And every one of you who tunes in each day to listen to us, as we do say, costs you an arm and a leg back in Africa, but you do your best to listen to us daily. And I salute you all, especially those with Bishop Adeshina in the RBS office. I salute you. Let me say good morning to Ebenezer Hammond, Chantel, all the way in Cape Town, South Africa. Well, for those of you who have tuned in for the first time on a Wednesday edition of the Morning Show, this is how the program is going to go. I'm going to bring you the quotes of the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates. We'll continue from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. It's known as global trotting. Then after that, we'll look at some of the stories making the rounds from Nigeria. That is updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koiki, bringing you all the details that you need to know. But remember, this evening, exactly at 18 hours, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you Niger Voices. And then after that, at 11:30, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. At 12 o'clock, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So, on the Wednesday edition, that's how the program goes. So, by that time, we'll bring the curtains down. Hopefully next week we'll be taking you to the House of Parliament for the Prime Minister's question time when it resumes. Or wherever you are, stay tuned, don't you go away. Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The quote for the day says, true success is from within and not from without. So how successful you feel within determines what is going on outside. Okay. So it's all mental. That's what we want to talk about there. Well, when it comes to the stories I'm going to be looking at this morning, yeah, more coming your way.
Forever call you great.
For the weather, in the weather front, this is what I've got in stock for you. For those of you in London and the southeast of England, this is how the weather is going to be for you. Now, today is expected to start sunny, but clouds soon develop and scattered showers are expected for the afternoon. The showers could be sharp and thundery in places, though. And tonight, we'll see clouds and any showers soon diminish, and it will become mainly clear. Overnight, there may just be some passing patches of cloud. Winds diminish to light. Temperature is going to be 20 degrees, the lowest is going to be 10 degrees. Pollen level, moderate, UV level, moderate pollution, low. Sunset, 1952, and sunrise for tomorrow morning, 0609 hours. Star Radio UK.
You remain the same till the end.
Okie dokie. Let's take a quick break and let me bring you the travel updates wherever you might be. Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, and keep you navigated. I promise I'm on the Star Radio travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:44, and let's crack on. Well, for those of you using the major roads in London, central London road routes have got serious delays, so if you can avoid it, do your best to do so. Now, on the underground this morning, I can tell you assuredly good service throughout the London Tramlink, good service, DLR, good service, and London Overground, good service there as well. And that leads us straight to the river bus. On the river bus this morning, the Woolwich has got planned closures. Aside all there's good service there. The London Cable Car is also running a very good service there this morning as well. And then to the final segment of the travel update, that's the National Rail. I can tell you shortly that on the National Rail itself as well, good service throughout. That brings us to the end of the travel updates for you today. Wednesday, the 30th day of August 19th. Why do I say 19? 2023. All right then. Another quick break, and then we will bring you what is happening when it comes to the global trotting. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Star Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I bring you the time now to 10:46, and it is the Wednesday edition of the morning show, and let's crack on. Now, when it comes to some of the stories I'm going to be looking at from Nigeria, Tinubu is working tirelessly day and night to end Nigerians' hardship. That's what Idris is saying. That's Information Minister Mohammed Idris says President Bola Tinubu is committed to ameliorating, they like big words, the pains of Nigerians caused by the petrol subsidy removal in the shortest time possible, according to him. I'll be bringing you more on that. The fuel accused hit Lagos and others as thieves vandalized pipelines, and Uniport undergraduate stabs girlfriend to death in Edo State. Naira depreciates exchanges at 775.34 naira to a dollar at investors exporters window. The naira is appreciated against the dollar, depreciated against the dollar on Tuesday as it exchanged at 775.34, and two churchgoers drowned in Ogun River. All right, there are some stories making the rounds from Nigeria, but when it comes to other stories making the rounds in other parts of Africa, let me tell you. Now, calls to boost food security to protect Congo Basin as summit kicks off in Kinshasa is one of the other stories. Now, Gabon soldier says Bongo's regime ended, borders closed. Now, Gabon military men announced cancellation of elections and dissolve institutions. Now it says members of the Gabonese army announced on Wednesday that they had put an end to Bongo's regime as they spoke on national television. The soldiers on television were comprised of members from gendarme, the Republican Guard, and other factions of the security forces. Now, witnesses have heard heavy automatic weapons fire in Libreville, Gabon's capital. Now, today, our country is going through a grave political crisis, the military men stated. Now, we have observed an irresponsible, unforeseeable governance that has resulted in the steady degradation of social cohesion, which risks leading the country to chaos. We have decided to defend peace by putting an end to the regime in power, the armed men said. Now, they introduced themselves as members of the CTRI Committee for Transition and Restoration of Institutions. They got on to say, dear people of Gabon, we are finally on the road to bliss. May God and the souls of our ancestors bless our country, they concluded. They have also announced the following: borders are closed until further notice. We call on the people, the communities of brotherly nations that reside in Gabon, as well as the Gabonese diaspora, to remain calm and serene. Gabon's government announced a nationwide curfew and cut off internet access Saturday, August 26th evening, as voting in major national elections was wrapping up. The announcement came after voters cast ballots to elect new local leaders, national legislators, and Gabon's next president. In anticipation of post-electoral violence, many people in the capital went to visit family in other parts of the country or left Gabon altogether. Others stockpiled food or boosted security in their homes. There were concerns of violence before the election due to deep-seated grievances among the population of some 800,000 people. Nearly 40% of Gabonese ages, that's 15 to 24, were out of work in 2020, according to the World Bank. Now I'm looking at this and I'm asking the question this morning: is it a domino effect from the coup d'etat that is happening in or on the African continent at the moment? We had Guinea, we had Mali, we had Burkina Faso, and we have Niger, and now we have Gabon. They all seem to be French-speaking countries, though. But the domino effect, now they are saying that they are not going to sit down and look and watch the country descend into chaos, because they've been watching everything that seems to be going on. I did put this question up some time back during the king's coronation, when I posted the question, or I asked the question: could Omar Bongo not appoint any other person to represent him in the king's coronation, rather he himself coming in, somebody who suffered a stroke, and virtually watching it was as painful as the one walking by himself during the ceremony. And now he goes on further to say, you know what, I'm standing for election and I've won the election, by what percentage? 64%. Do you mean to say that everybody in that country really loved him, or because he's had the support of the French government? Is that what has happened? My goodness. Well, the military says they've taken over. Let's see what happens. Are all African leaders now going to set up, or is the Central African group, or the South African group, whichever group that they belong to, also going to now come out to say, yes, we are placing sanctions on you, and therefore we're giving you up to that, and we are going to invade the country because you have to make sure that you reinstate a democratically elected president? Was that election free and fair? Well. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And in Zimbabwe as well, opposition candidate Nelson Chamisa has also gone on to say, call for fresh elections after his presidential candidate lost to incumbent Emerson Mnangagwa in a vote alleged as flawed and illegal. The Citizens Coalition for Change, the CCC, urged African Union and South African Regional Bloc to help mediate a solution to the crisis that followed last Wednesday's vote. Zimbabweans need a fresh and broad and proper election to exit the current crisis, the CCC deputy spokesman Ostalos Ziziba told a press conference in Harare. Mnangagwa 80 won a second term with 52.6%. That's 44% for the CCC. Nelson Chamisa 45, according to official results announced late Saturday by Zimbabwe's Electoral Commission. Interesting one there. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. So how are African leaders taking the whole thing, the whole scenario of this coup d'etat, would have been orchestrated or brought in because the military looked at it quietly and thought that election that has taken place and the fact that this person said is won, no, we're not good sit down. But what do you think about all that? So coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, they call the election fraud. Occupy Bank of Ghana Addison leadership characterized by severe incompetence. Justice for Ghana are saying some of the stories making the round there. And Palace men allegedly raid school campus, steal teachers' goats for festival and sacrifice. What school is that? What area is that? Oh my goodness! What a disgrace for them. To the workers in that doesn't mean that the Palace is that poor that they couldn't get themselves some goat or some chicken for their sacrifice. Oh, I will want to end my tenure with pride. That is what the Kufuor is saying. What kind of pride is he talking about? I'm going to tell you more about all that in a moment. But this is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In other stories making the rounds in the world, Kyiv is hit by a missile barrage as drones strike Russian military planes. 2 die in the latest attack on Ukraine capital, while drone strikes are reported across multiple Russian regions as well. And India protests as Chinese map claiming territory. India says a new map released by China lays claim to its territory, and they're saying we're not going to sit down as well. We hope that doesn't evolve into anything catastrophic, though. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Well, in other or on other platforms as well, Gabon coup, army seizes power from Ali Bongo and cancels elections. You remember, in Myanmar, the military took over after elections that declared Aung San Suu Kyi the winner, and they said, well, now we've taken over and we know what that has resulted to. But this is a blatant a glaring stealing or unfair election, let me put it that way, fraudulent election that Ali Bongo thinks he has won. But more development, because it's a developing news, I'll be telling you more about that. It's a France following events closely in former colonies. So the question is, what has France been doing? Because it looks like the France's former colonies seem to be now having coup d'etats like breakfast or some cereal. So they wake up in the morning, this is the cereal I want, and then they just get on with it. Okay. But the soldiers are telling celebrating crowds to go home. They say, go home, and let us deal with what is happening. Well, it is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. In the UK, a woman raped by same man seeks change to court cases. The woman says they were women raped by same man seek change to court cases. The women say they were battered and bruised by the legal process that led to a serial rapist being jailed. Then disengaging with China, not credible, says cleverly. The foreign secretary defends China's visit, but one MP likens it to appeasement, doing everything possible to be likened by the Chinese so that we will not have any problems with them. right or wrong. Now, thousands of scammers impersonate finance, and that's what the watchdog is saying. The Financial Conduct Authority says report of scammers impersonating it has doubled. Okay, lots more going to be coming your way from there. And thousands lose benefit after tax credit overpaid. Households on universal credit lose 5,000 or more as authorities claw back historic overpayments. All right, then. So this and a lot more going to be coming your way. We're going to bring you up to play from Nigeria in a moment. But now, let's enjoy this music. I continue to write the names of all the talkatives. All the talkatives. This one, the bad ones. Bad ones like Ali Bongo. Enjoy it and I'll be with you.
Like my favorite song on this album, y'all. It's no secret in our world. People like to talk the things they know and the ones they don't. They will spread lies and rumors just to be known. So why are you wasting your time like this? Hearing those things that break your heart. Give no attention, give no thoughts. Cause people talk, but they'll never help you walk. So whenever they speak, look up and you will see a broken pencil and a sheet. And tell them, say, I'm writing names of talkatives. Yeah.
All of this noise you're making on me. Teacher will get you when he comes. I have a race.
No time to waste.
No time to waste.
I'm writing names of talkatives.
I'm writing names of talkatives.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
all of
9.
this noise you're making on me.
Teacher, let them when you come.
Teacher will get you when he comes. I have a race.
No time to waste.
No time to waste.
There are many voices in this life, and to be honest, many are not nice. So don't hear something and pick a knife. Cause most of these things are nothing but lies. Teacher said be careful how you hear, cause there are talkatives here, they're everywhere. So silence the voices in your head and give no attention to your fears. I'm writing
names of talkatives. All of this noise you're making on me. Teacher will get you when he comes.
As for me,
I have a race.
No time to waste.
No time to waste.
I'm writing names of talkatives.
I'm writing names of talkatives.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All of this noise you're making on me.
15, 16, 17, 18,
Teacher
19,
will
20.
get you when he comes. I have a race. No time to waste.
Can we talk?
Yeah.
Can we talk? Call him, say,
talkatives.
do you know any?
Talkatives.
Yeah. Have you met any? Can we write some? List some names of talkatives. I am going now. Yeah. Some friends are. Some family members. Some landlords are. I said your exes are. Your exes are. Have you known any? Move away far from. Opinions are. Bloggers. Social media. Old friends. Some doctors report are. Some symptoms are. Addictions are. Move away from. People's opinions are. You are too fast.
In your car,
At work.
at home,
On your smartphone.
radio.
You talk too much.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Up and make up, Dodo. Hey, your face is so raw. You sing too much. You don't sing at all. The last time I heard they said, are you the one they said?
Well, whatever you do, you got somebody criticizing it. But my question that I do ask all the time is it a constructive criticism or is it a destructive criticism? So if somebody is giving a destructive one, shut your ears to it. Write their names down and make sure that you run far away from them. If it's a constructive one, why not? Because nobody knows it all, isn't it? There's a saying in the Ghanaian parlance that wisdom is not in the head of only a single person. So even the wise man Solomon had hard advices. But I've said, you know what, I'm the wisest person, so I don't need nobody to give me any advice or anything. But he still had advices. So whilst we wait for Mr. Olayomi Koiki to join in to bring you the updates from Nigeria, let me just go on to look at the developments of the story that is happening in Congo.
You wasting your time like this.
Or to be specifically this morning, Gabon.
Your hearts give no attention, give no thoughts. Cause people talk, but they'll never help you walk.
Wow, 3 hours ago. Now, incumbent Gabonese Ali Bongo, President Ali Bongo, who had been in power for 14 years, said that he had won a third term with 64.27% according to official results announced on Wednesday, that is August 30, by the Electoral Commission. Now, Ali Bongo defeated his main rival, Albert Ondo Oza, in a single round of voting. Now, according to Michel Stephanie Bonda, the president of Gabonese Center of Elections, Ondo Oza secured 30.7% of the vote. 12 other candidates took part in the presidential race.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
However, I don't know whether hours after that particular announcement, then we have the military saying that, you know what, we were standing by, we've taken over. But I'm asking the question, is there going to be a domino effect, or is it a domino effect with what is happening on the African continent at all? But especially this time around when we're talking about the former French colonies. Well, I wouldn't have enough time to discuss all this this morning because we are already Wednesday morning, the fourth position pressed with time. But I want you to add your voice. You can post your comments on our Facebook page or whichever or wherever you are listening to us from. But now it is my singular honor to invite and welcome my brother and colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, the White Lion, this morning to the show. And let me say, Yomi, good morning.
Well, a very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie, and a very beautiful afternoon for those watching in different parts of the globe. And welcome once again to the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. A very good morning once again to Frank and the rest of the Star Radio UK team as we press with time, but there is a lot happening, but we will catch up as much as we can. I'll come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Yes, I hope family and everyone is doing well.
Well, we're grateful. That's the biggest question that everybody wants to know. When the family are doing very well, that literally means that we can be out here as well, doing what we love to do best, bringing the news as it's happening. And I would also say, yes, it is breaking and it is still breaking. And I'll be also sharing some of the thoughts that you've also been talking about when it comes to what is happening mostly in Africa. But again, we're discussing Nigeria this morning, as so many Nigerians are waking up again to what is happening in the other part of Africa known as Gabon. And I've done a bit of analysis on that this morning for 2 hours, so I have a better understanding based on what we do not know, because until something like this happen, you will realize that there's a lot. 56 years this family have been in power, and it seems things are turning around very, very fast. And it seems as, like you said, listening to you carefully, 2009, the last president before this one died in Barcelona for cardiac arrest. And the question is, how soon can we build the Africa of our dream? It seems that Bola Tinubu is working very hard for so many Nigerians, according to the headline. Let me come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie, as we get ready to kickstart again this morning.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios. I'm actually here in the South studios, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. But just a quick one from the Gabon situation, because I'm thinking that, look, with what is happening in Gabon, now elections were run. It was only this morning, like early morning, they announced it and said that, well, Omar Bongo has won, 64%. And I was saying, I mean, you cannot win. If not Muhammad or Jesus, they wouldn't, because they have people who are praising them. The next moment, they are those people who are chastising them as well. So rarely will you say you won 64% of the votes. Now they announce that, and the next moment the military say no more. So what are developments? Because we look at Gabon, and looking at, it's also an oil-rich country, and we compare it to Nigeria, and the way Gabon is, we're looking at the economy and everything. It's like what is happening in Nigeria and what is happening in Ghana as well. So how have Nigerians taken it, and what is your understanding, a bit of understanding there, Yomi?
Well, the reaction is still, very, very ongoing. I was able to pick up, as many Nigerians, still trying to figure out, what is going on in Gabon, like you said, and it seems that the news, is already filtering out. But you got to be honest that as many Africans, probably due to power shortage, due to internet. Imagine somebody that have turned off their internet since yesterday will be waking up not even knowing that there's another breaking news of a coup. Yes, most of the mainstream media, like ours and so many others, have been talking about it, in the last, hours. My mom picked up the news even before myself. You can tell that those of us outside here are very, very conversant with what is happening. But the reaction is still like, are we seeing the new Africa? Is the coup the right direction? This is not the first coup in that part of the globe. I can tell you, like I said, looking back to the 2 hours I've spent, reviewing everything that we need to know, sharing that knowledge with many of our listeners on the other sister platform. The coup has happened before. We've seen coup even up to 2019. The American interfere quickly. We've seen a coup where even the French paratroops were there to restore order. So this is not the first time, but it seems that a particular party, PDG, not the PDP in Nigeria, have been in power since 1961. They also had their independence around August 1960, just 2 months before Nigeria. The reaction is many Nigerians are still asking, maybe it is the best, maybe not. But when you do not allow election to be conducted, as we saw election in Nigeria, but the military didn't take over, even though there were rumors that the military were planning to take over around February. But that didn't happen, but there is a lot of pressure currently. And it seems like Simon Ekpa say, the wave of the neo-colonialism is what is playing out right now. And as many Nigerians, like you said, will be finding out if the next country will be Togo or Cameroon, or should we just say Gabon will be the next. I don't know what the reaction is going to be. You know, the presidency haven't made any statement yet. I've gone back to look at the Twitter handle of the UK Prime Minister, UK High Commissioner in Gabon. They've not said much. Prime Minister haven't said much. It looks like everybody is just watching and saying what could be the next. JC Okechukwu, this is what he posted just an hour ago. A Nigerian, a very activist as well. And he was one time an actor. In the early hours of today, more than 10 Gabonese military officers appear in front of the cameras on the state television and read a statement. Remember that Gabon just had an election, which we've been talking about. The leader and the president of Gabon took over from his father after he died of a cardiac arrest in Barcelona hospital. It seems that Ali Bongo is another extremely pro-France, pro-West president who, along with the Ivory Coast president, was championing the push for military intervention in Niger. It seems that maybe that might not happen anytime now. Let us stay tuned as things unfold.
Well, listeners, we'll be monitoring very, very closely what is happening. But for now, let's come to Nigeria, which we know, or where we know what has happened there, and we can talk about. But I did say that it's going to be maybe a point where African leaders are going to set up and know that, look, it's getting to a point where the citizens are not going to be taking any more nonsense from us, and therefore if we are serving them, we need to make sure that we are serving them, that people are seeing it. Well, we have the information minister Mohammed Idris who is saying that President Bola Tinubu is committed to ameliorating, and I said it all the time, they like using big English language words, the pains of Nigerians caused by the petrol subsidy removal in the shortest time possible, according to him. He said Mr. Tinubu is working tirelessly day and night to revamp Nigeria. It's quite interesting. But Yomi, do you think that the government couldn't have invested whatever monies that they are using for this? I mean, virtually, whatever they've made, or they were saying that money that were going out, the palliative, whatever money that they're going to use, to actually secure the borders of Nigeria, or to check to make sure that vehicles were not carrying fuel to Ghana, to Benin, to Togo, or to Cameroon, or to Niger. Couldn't they have used that money to do that, so that Nigerians at least knew that, look, we are getting whatever we are getting, but that money, we know that they are being strict at the borders. Couldn't they have done that?
Well, it seems that the president, yesterday, Shetima, the vice president, said in one of the headlines, that quoted him, Nigeria is in a big mess. The reason why Nigeria is in a big mess is because there's not governance in the 774 local governments. So it's been a very poor governance. We do not have, the governance to look after the welfare. I was looking at what Professor Adebanji Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba Self-Determination, said in one of the video 5 years ago when he traveled to South Korea in 1982. That was about 41 years ago. He was actually telling the South Korean new leader that not that Nigeria only have the crude oil, we also have the manpower to transform what would have been the best in Africa and compete with the world. 41 years after, Nigerians are still below par when it comes to life expectancy. Life expectancy in Nigeria is 53. The life expectancy in South Korea is 83. The GDP in South Korea, according to 2021, is 1 trillion US dollars, while Nigeria is still struggling. The reason because the corruption has eaten every part of Nigeria, even up to the fact that an average Nigerian is asking, how come all the wealth in the country is not being seen across Nigeria today, as the naira continue to depreciate at the exchange rate at 775, but at the black market is about 900 naira to the dollar. It seems that many Nigerians are asking, but the information minister says the president is working day and night to resolve all this problem. As many Nigerians are trying to find a second path, greener pasture, this isn't the Nigeria of our dreams, as citizens continue queuing endlessly for passport. This is now coming from the Interior Minister. Nigerians should not have to queue endlessly to get the passport. No, this must stop. So it seems that maybe the new ministers under the leadership of the new president will be different from what we know from the former president Muhammadu Buhari. The Interior Minister Olubunmi Tunji Ojo has expressed his displeasure at how Nigerians have to queue endlessly for the passport that they might not likely get a visa even to South Africa. If you have a US or UK visa, you could be able to travel to Turkey, but that has been revoked. Even going to Seychelles, you cannot travel with a Nigerian passport because we are kind of not respected, even though Nigeria is still known as the most populous black nation in Africa.
Well, listeners, it's interesting because I was analyzing something whilst Yomi was discussing what is happening in Nigeria, the difficulties and everything that they are going through, and comparing it to South Korea. And I was analyzing, and then I came by Malaysia. Malaysia had independence the same time that Ghana had independence, 1957. But you look at the way Malaysia has developed and up to where they've gotten to, and you ask yourself the question, so what is wrong with us? Now, even if, which we know, that our colonial masters actually were just siphoning everything from our hands, weren't there wise people enough within our means to our midst to stop them from doing so, and just thinking of how to develop? And I did say this all the time, that back in the day, I remember when I visited Nigeria, that was during Shagari's time. That was quite a long time ago. And I remember the VW factory. I remember there was a Peugeot manufacturing plants and stuff like that there. And I could see the number of people who were traveling to Nigeria to better their lives. But now what do we see? We see our people walking across Niger, crossing the Mediterranean, some dying in there, going through Europe and all that kind of thing, and people have to be queuing for even passport, which we know they're not going to be getting the visas or whatever they are doing. But it is sad, and I really hope. Pastor Mo says, well done, gentlemen. Thank God for people in the Gabon. We pray for similar thing to happen soon in Nigeria, so that the indigenous people can go to their tents. And Anthony Adedeji says just last claps for us all. But it is because you look at it. What are the push factors? What are the pull factors? And our leaders think that, they are untouchable. They should come again. Listen to Starr Radio UK. We have the president. They are saying that, well, Tinubu is doing his best. But this morning, there are fewer queues that has hit Lagos. Though they are saying it's all due to thievery and vandalizing of pipelines. Yomi, tell us more.
Well, when thieves decide to also tap out of, the pipe that is moving, very inflammable, product like the petrol, you're also endangering the lives of many Nigerians living in such community. It seems that Lagos State this morning, there are some report that there is already fuel queues due to the fact that thieves have vandalized pipeline. What do we know so far? Long queues for the premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, are beginning to resurface at filling stations in Lagos State and boundary of Ogun State and few other locations in the southwestern state. Although gathered the reports not seen in Abuja and other states in the north, it was learned that depot in Lagos State were gradually running dry of the petrol. Queues were sighted at many stations, particularly those on Oshodi, Ojodo Berger Expressway, and some other sections of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, as the vehicles that waited to purchase petrol stretch into the expressway, slowing down the movement on the service lane. The Northwest filling station had the longest queue, as this is being sold at 568 naira per litre. Others are selling it at almost 570. But the question is, what could be the reason behind this? The chairman of the Independent Petroleum Market Association of Nigeria, Satellite Depot, Akim Akinrade, stated that not loaded products in the last 3 weeks. According to him, even the NNPCL retail depot is currently operating at skeletal dispatching of the product. From our end, the issue has been with the pipeline vandalism. The question is, what can the security operative do? You know, when it comes to where the pipes are moving from point A to point B, we've seen private security firm being employed, giving billions of dollars billions of naira, by the Nigerian government. We're talking about Tompolo, we're talking about Asari Dokubo, we're talking about few others. And the question is, have we got to the stage where the government, with all the security personnel under the leader of the president, cannot be able to protect our pipeline? It seems maybe Nigerians will have to a little bit be patient with this government to be able to get things right from the mess that the previous government have put in place for 8 years.
Well, there is a musician who said politicians have pity on us, so I've forgotten his name, but pity on us. We hope that they are doing whatever they are doing it in the interest of the people and not on their own selfish interests, because if they are, they should just be watching domino effect. Well, listeners, it is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I will allow Yomi to bring you all the other stories that is making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, we're going to go straight into it because of the time factor this morning, as a lot of things is developing from different part of the world, especially as many Africans are waking up for another coup that is now already taking part in Nigeria. In Gabon. Let's go straight to it. Tinubu wants fertilizer price to be reduced by up to 50%. Is coming from the headline from the Vice President Shetima. Our goal is to serve Nigerian people, as President Tinubu is very passionate about reducing the cost of fertilizer for Nigerian public. This is coming from the Vice President Shetima says President Bola Tinubu is passionate about reducing the price of fertilizer. We know that you will need such so that we can be able to do much. INEC hopes to transmit electronic Kogi governorship election result. Police promise peaceful poll. Well, it seems that INEC could not do such during the presidential election, but they're assuring Nigerians that such will be dealt with in Kogi State as election is coming up very soon there. Security operatives harassing, treating Nigerians living in Jibia like Nigerians community. We know that we have borders to Niger, and with the tension, many trucks with food from the United Nations to others seems to be now going through to weeks and weeks since July, especially after the ECOWAS meeting around July 30. We are now coming up to a month. The solution is not yet resolved. We do not know whether there will be an attack or military intervention, but residents claim that their rights were being violated daily, according to unidentified officials of the Nigerian custom. Some residents of Magama GPA community, located within Nigeria and Niger border of Castina, have now accused security personnel of treating them like Nigerians. We are still Nigerians. Why treat us like Nigerians is the question. The people made the allegation on Tuesday. They claim that their rights have now been violated daily by so many unidentified officials of Nigerian custom. According to Dayuba Mohammed, the security operatives on Castina Jibia Road always go after them whenever they move with grains brought from Castina. So we hope that the government will look into such as well. It seems that the Naira continued to drop as much as possible. Even at the exporter windows, it was 775 Naira 0.34, but on the black market is about almost 900 Naira. Cross River suspend hospital vendor over financial fraud and mismanagement. We've talked about mismanagement on so many places in Nigeria. It seems that Cross River is also similar to others. Armed officers have stormed the NURTW Abuja Secretariat to avert violence, according to the police. That is also coming as the Inspector General of Police, Egbetokun, says police officers are now warned from taking money, or not just taking money, stealing money from drivers. Extortion. The Inspector General of Police, Egbetokun, warns police officers against stealing money from drivers. You wonder why they are stealing money if they are giving all the necessary, welfare and also being taken care of. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has now warned yesterday that severe sanctions await police officer extortion and harassing the driver. He was saying this yesterday as alleged incident of extortion, intimidation, harassment of commuters on highways are being looked into, and the force is resolute in addressing these issues promptly and decisively. In response to the report and series of complaints received on the police platform, the police leadership have directed all the supervising officers to undertake stringent supervision of their subordinates in the field. The idea is primarily to curb and eradicate the unprofessional conduct of the officers. It's coming from the IGP. Well, the question is, if those are given what is needed, I'm sure there shouldn't be any reason for them extorting and stealing from Nigeria. Once again, as I go straight to the social media, the talk of the conversation this morning, it's all about Gabon. Cameroon is trending, but already 235,000 tweets on Gabon alone. And it seems also Africans is trending. Max Air, remember that Max Air has come into the limelight of news lately, especially with some of their airline that seems to have been packed away. But it seems that according to the report that led to the government have to come out openly from David Odonye, yesterday he has also come out again. If you fly with Max Air Limited, you are going to die. Well, we don't want anybody to die, so we hope that the government will look into it. Some of the images has got to do with their tires. The Max Air does not have a single airworthy aircraft in its inventory. Its billionaire owner, Dahirubu Magana, has once again used his influence to keep his metal coffins in the sky against NCAA regulation. The question is it right to have an aircraft running when it's also endanger the lives of many Nigerians? That is why Air Max or Max Air is trending again this morning. Well, as many are still looking up to what is going on in Gabon, the other question is all eyes on the judiciary. Senegal is trending as well, but many Nigerians are still hoping that maybe after the outcome of the election tribunal that is being delayed for whatever reason, maybe that will bring many Nigerians out on the street either for or against. And the question this morning is, as we wind down, later on we would have ample of time on the Starr Radio UK when we will be discussing other issues pertaining to the what we call the Niger Voices. You did talk about Timaya, as that is the song you were actually looking for. And it seems that the engineer will help us to see if we can bring that particular track just to listen to it for just about a few minutes. Once again, this is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, and this is how the music goes.
It's not
they promised us, so them tell us that they go bring the change. Oh no 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 no. As the thing they go, situation in us they bad. As they break, things is just the hard. No food to chop. Every day girl and they rise. See the people that they cry. Oh no 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 no.
And this was 6 years ago that this track came up. Star Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
I think Timmy, I should call him a prophet because he foresaw everything that was going to happen, and lo and behold. Well, listeners, let me say good morning to Semeyu Adeyemi. He says good morning to everyone in there, and then to my baby sister Delta Hammond, all the way in Ghana, listening to us as well, watching us as well. We salute you. I hope you're all doing very, very, very well. But Yomi, all eyes on Gabon now, and we'll be monitoring very, very closely. But this night or this evening, exactly at 18 hours, Yomi is going to be bringing you the Niger Voices, and I will want you to make a date with him because he's going to bring you some updates from the Gabonese area and what is going on as well. Gabon has only got 2.3 million people as a population, and on the African continent, I think it's one of the richest. It's got the what percentage of GDP? Gabon is one of the richest countries in Africa in terms of per capita GDP, due largely to its oil revenue and relatively small population. So you look at all that and you say, you look at it compared to Nigeria, look at it compared to Ghana, and look at it compared to other places, and you ask yourself, what are the domino effects? Is it because we don't speak French? Because we are English-speaking countries, maybe our understanding is different from that. But you want to know more, make sure that you are with Mr. Olayomi Koiki this evening, exactly at 18 hours BST. Yomi, before you go.
Well, like you said, 1800 hours, that's 6 p.m. local time. For those of you in Nigeria, join us on the Niger Voices when we're going to be bringing you everything we need to know from Gabon to Niger, to the Nigeria economy, and likewise, as so many indigenous people that are campaigning for the right to self-determination, which is an inalienable right. All these will be discussed during the program called Niger Voices later on tonight. I'll leave you in the hands of Archie to take you to the rest of the program. And on that note, have a very good morning to all our viewers and the sister broadcast for those that are watching and listening as well.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Yomi, I'll be calling you just after the program. I'll be calling you. We need to have a chat, a quick one. Okay. To all of you on the other platforms listening to us, we salute each and every one of you. Adebanjo Sunday says, good morning, everyone in the house. Yoruba Nation, no going back. Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu is my mentor, 100%. Well. He is talking about people who are helping those who are fighting or standing up for those who have been marginalized. Well, listeners, because of time, so I'm just going to go on prodding it through, and then after that I'll bring you my music, one that has been nicely orchestrated, composed and produced by the Zungu man himself, The Problem of Africa. I'll be bringing that your way in the next few moments. But now, let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds. And on the African continent, the Gabon coup seemed to be one of the stories that most people are woken up to. Especially as Yomi said, you turn off, they normally turn off their internet usage, and therefore they wake up in the morning and then turn it back on. So now you turn it back on and you come by the story. It was an election that was intended to end well in Gabon. Now, many woke up on Saturday, the 26th of August, to vote in the general election, which the opposition described as lacking authenticity. The presidential results were announced early Wednesday, that's this morning, with President Ali Bongo winning election again. But a few hours later, the situation took a twist, with the military announcing a takeover. Now, the address came moments after the National Election Authority said Bongo had won a third term in Saturday's election with 64.27% of the votes. Is it that people decided not to go and vote, and therefore majority of the people who came to vote were from Bongo's camp? The mutiny soldiers announced the dissolution of the government, including crucial institutions. The group members were drawn from the gendarme, the Republican Guard, and other elements of the security forces. According to the results issued prior to the officer's announcement, Bongo's main rival, Albert Ondo Oza, won just 30.77% of the vote. Now, internet was reportedly restored in Gabon after military officers said they've taken over. The private intelligence firm Ambre said all operations at the country's main port in Libreville had been halted, with authorities refusing to grant permission for vessels to leave. It wasn't immediately clear if airlines are operating in the country. A French mining group, Eramet, says Gabon activities has stopped. Okay, now Gabon is one of the richest countries in Africa in terms of per capita GDP, due largely to its oil revenue and relatively small population of 2.3 million. Now, Ali Bongo has been seen as a close ally to France, and that's where the question comes in again. What are the French getting? That is why they've been protecting this family. Because if it was elsewhere, they would have been saying that, well, democracy, proper democracy is supposed to take place, and one person cannot be, and then there will be all that stoking that seems to be going on. However, Bongo said, while our content, Ali Bongo has been a close ally of to France, there has been a wave of coups in the West African countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, and the latest being Gabon. This is the first coup in the Central African region in recent years. So for a very long time, they've not had or experienced anything of the sort. In his annual Independence Day speech on August 17, listen to me, you are men, and therefore tomorrow is not yours. Now, Bongo said, while our continent has been shaken in recent weeks by violent crisis, rest assured that I will never allow you and our country, Gabon, to be hostages to attempts at destabilization. And it goes on further to say, never, quote and unquote. Now, overthrowing Mr. Bongo will end his family's 56-year hold on power in Gabon. Unlike Niger and two other West African countries run by military juntas, Gabon hasn't been racked by jihadi violence and had been seen as a relatively stable country. The economic economic and social situation has left many disillusioned, though nearly 40% of Gabonese ages 15 to 24 were out of work in 2020, according to the World Bank. Now, Gabon is a member of the OPEC oil cartel with a production of some 181,000 barrels of crude oil a day, making it the 8th largest producer of oil in sub-Saharan Africa. At a time when anti-French dominance is spreading in many former colonies, the French educated Bongo met President Emmanuel Macron in Paris in late June and shared photos of them shaking hands. France has some 400 troops in the country. So all eyes on Gabon, because are the French troops going to rise up to say they're going to defend Ali Bongo, to reinstate him because he is a democratically elected leader of the country? And I did say all the time, how fair was that election? And for him to say that he's won 64%, my goodness, come again. Well. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, so as I did say, more stories on Gabon. 10 critical events in Gabon since independence. Gabon gained its independence in 1960. A former French colony, Gabon proclaimed its independence on August 17, 1960. In February 1960, Leon Mba became president, deposed by a coup d'etat. 3 years later, he was brought back to power by a French military intervention. So that's why I was asking the question. In December 1967, on the death of Leon Mba, Albert Bernard Bongo came to power. He imposed the Gabonese Democratic Party, the PDG, as the sole party and ruled the country with an iron fist, profiting in particular from the oil windfall in 1973 after
converting to Islam, he became El Haj Omar Bongo, to which he added his father's name, Ondimba, in 2003. The only candidate he was elected president in 1973, 1979, and 1986. From January to April 1990, serious social unrest turned into riots. In May, a multi-party system was introduced, but Omar Bongo won every presidential election, 1993, 1998, and 2005, against an opposition that he divided or rallied to his cause. On October 16, 2009, Ali Bongo Onimba, son of Omar Bongo, who died in June, was sworn in as president. So, is it a monarchy? He was elected in August in a disputed election. Post-election violence and looting rocked Port Gentil, that's West Leaving, several people dead. The opposition denounced an authoritarian drift. In 2010, the French justice system opened an investigation into the considerable wealth amassed in France by Omar Bongo and certain of his relatives. Bien Marquis affair. In December 2014, violent clashes erupted between demonstrators and police during a band rally demanding Ali Bongo's departure. Now, confronted with an economic crisis due to collapse of prices from oil 2014 to 2015, the regime faces growing social tension. In 2016, post-election violence, the announcement of Ali Bongo's Ondimba's re-election in August 2016 presidential election provoked unprecedented violence in Gabon. Demonstrations against government, hundreds of people arrested, the National Assembly set on fire, and assault by security forces on the headquarters of the outgoing president's rival, Jean Ping. 3 people were killed according to the authorities and around 30 according to the opposition. On October 24, 2018, Ali Bongo suffered a stroke in Saudi Arabia, leaving him absent for many months, convalescing abroad and then in Gabon. On January 7, 2019, an attempted military coup failed. In November, the country was rocked by a wave of arrests and suspicions of corruption. On December 5, Ali Bongo's eldest son, Noureddin Bongo Valentin, is appointed coordinator of presidential affairs. From March to July 2022, 9 of Omar Bongo's children were indicted in France, notably for handling misappropriated public funds as part of the ill-gotten gains investigation. This property, built up in France with public money embezzled from Gabon, is valued by the courts at 85 million euros. In April 2023, Parliament voted to revise the constitution, reducing the presidential term of office from 7 to 5 years and reverting to a single ballot. The part of the opposition denounced this as a maneuver designed to facilitate Ali Bongo's re-election by a relative majority. Now, in August 2023, post-electoral coup d'etat, on August 30, the military announced that it had put an end to the regime shortly after announcement of Ali Bongo's re-election with 64.27% of the vote. Now, even if those results, some way, somehow, they managed to manipulate it, skew the whole process so that it will benefit him, so that he can have a majority in there. What is going on? What are the French doing wrong? What have they done wrong? And are we going to be seeing this? What being also reflecting on some other African countries as well, especially when we have leaders sitting there amassing wealth, and majority of the people are poor or daily getting impoverished. What do you think is going on? Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and still in Congo. I don't know why I'm saying Congo, in Gabon, because Gabon is close to Congo. Okay, we have Congo, then we have Gabon,
and then we have DRC. That's how the whole thing is. But we have residents of Libreville cheering in the streets after military officers sack Ali Bongo. So photos and videos of crowd cheering as soldiers pass by in Gabonese capital Libreville hours after military officers announced overthrowing the government in Gabon have emerged online on social media. The apparent coup targets President Ali Bongo Ondimba, who has been in power for 14 years and whose re-election for a third term has been just announced. A statement read out on the TV quoted the military as saying Bongo was under house arrest, surrounded by his family and doctors. The statement reportedly added that one of the president's sons had been arrested for treason. The announcement of Bongo's sacking by the military came in the middle of an overnight curfew amid a nationwide internet shutdown imposed by Bongo's government last week. Internet was restored on Wednesday morning after the TV address. Now, Gabon has been ruled by the same family for more than 55 out of the 63 years since independence from France in 1960. But the question is, having one person or one family or a stability when it comes to governance, how has that actually enhanced the development of Gabon? Is it what has made them whatever they are? And has it gotten to a point where these individuals leading the country have become so selfish or self-centered that they are not thinking about the majority of the people, and now all that they are thinking of is lining their pockets with state resources and putting skewing and putting everything in place to get whatever they want? Well, I've got another 10 minutes, and let me announce the lines open. If you want to hop in, feel free, hop in quickly, and then the next 10 minutes will bring the program to a close. But as I did say, we are following the development very, very closely. Okay, let's go to Ghana as well, and let me bring you some stories making the rounds there. The president of Ghana, President Akufo-Addo, has said he wants to end his tenure in office with pride that he has fought a good fight for Ghana. Now, at the end of my tenure of office on the 7th of January 2025, I want with humility to be able to say, as St. Paul did in 2 Timothy chapter 4 verses 7 to 8, that I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord the righteous judge will reward me on that day, and only to me, but also and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. You know, we like quoting. They love quoting the Bible like no man's business. President Akufo-Addo said this when addressing a valedictory service for Reverend Dr. Seth Kisi, outgoing chairperson of the Archie Presbytery of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana in Chebi in the Eastern region. Now, President Akufo-Addo assumed office in January 7, 2017 on the back of their lofty promises, including transforming an economy within 18 months and fighting corruption, which won him and the ruling New Patriotic Power in 2016. The question is, has he done anything of the sort? Now, Ghana's year-on-year inflation surged to record high of 54.1% in January 2023. With food inflation rising to 59.7% and transport costs increased 71.4%. So when you look at all these stories, you ask yourself the question, what kind of leaders are being elected? And are they there to serve our interests? Or coming up with big mantras and then getting on to do whatever thing that they want to do? Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, I think I'll just have to hop on straight to some other stories making the rounds. Like I did say, the news making the rounds, the most rounds this morning, is the Gabonese coup d'etat. Now, senior military officers in Gabon have appeared on national TV to say they have seized power and placed President Ali Bongo under house arrest. They also announced they were annulling the results of an election on Saturday in which President Bongo was declared the winner. The officers also said they were dissolving all state institutions and that the country's borders were shut. In a later appearance, they nominated the head of the presidential guard as the leader of the transition. Bongo's overthrow will end his family's 56-year-old hold on power in the resource-rich West African country, and this will be the 8th coup in the former French colonies in Africa in the past 3 years. France has condemned the latest event. Of course, they will, wouldn't they? Because it's going to, impact on their benefit of their presence or Bongo's hold on power. All right, then let's move on straight to some other stories making the rounds in Ukraine. In Ukraine, as I did say, I'm going to make sure that I will report on that all the time. Russia says attacks on its soil will not go unpunished after it reported a night of drone attacks which it blamed on Ukraine. A strike on Pskov airport, hundreds of miles from the war zone in Ukraine, set 2 military cargo planes on fire. The Russian military says it shot down Ukrainian drones over the Bryansk, Kaluga, Oriol, and Ryazan regions. Russia has repeatedly accused Ukraine of carrying out drone strikes on its territory in recent months, though Ukraine has not claimed responsibility for specific strikes. Meanwhile, the biggest airstrike on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, in months has killed 2 people. Now, several buildings were hit by falling debris from targets brought down by air defense. It's all happening on Starr Radio UK. Now, a private burial ceremony took place in St. Petersburg yesterday for the Wagner mercenary boss Yevgeny Prigozhin. Most of the first group of the people, the first group of people to visit the grave were members of the press, with only a handful of members of the public and people wearing Wagner insignia seen at the burial site, according to Reuters. Now, secrecy surrounded arrangements for the closed funeral, meaning that events could not turn into a large-scale show of support for Prigozhin, now whose massive mutiny in June amounted to the largest ever threat to President Vladimir Putin's rule. Now, why was this all shrouded in secrecy? Were they scared that, people who are in support of Prigozhin would have amassed there, and that would have been a massive trouble spewing? Last week, Prigozhin was on a plane which crashed, killing all 10 people on board. Now, Russian authorities have not said why the plane crashed, but the Kremlin has rejected speculation. Putin ordered Prigozhin's death. Well, we know that some of the military chiefs were looking for his head because he kept on chastising or criticizing them. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, in Australia, voice referendum, Australia to hold historic indigenous vote in October. Australians will vote in a historic referendum on the 14th of October to decide whether to enact an indigenous voice to Parliament. Now, if approved, the vote will recognize Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people in the country constitution and establish a permanent body for them to give advice on laws. The proposal is the subject of fierce debate in Australia. The country has not had successful referendum in almost 50 years. For it to succeed, a majority of Australians need to vote yes. There's also need to be majority support in all at least 4 of Australia's 6 states. The composition, function, and power of the body, whose advice will not be binding, will then be designed and debated by Parliament. Announcing the poll date at a rally in Adelaide, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese called the vote a once-in-a-generation chance to bring our country together and to change it for the better. I rest my case. But let's move on to the UK. Let's look at one other story and can bring the program to a close. The Foreign Secretary James Cleverly has defended talks with Chinese officials in Beijing. Now, after meeting China's Vice President, Mr. Cleverly said The trip, the first by such a senior UK figure in 5 years, will help avoid mistrust and errors. But ahead of his visit, some UK MPs attacked the government approach to China as incoherent. In recent years, UK and China relations have deteriorated. China is still the UK's fourth largest trading partner, but concerns over threats to civil liberties in the former British colony of Hong Kong, espionage by China in the UK, and China's support of Russia during the invasion of Ukraine have led to tensions between the two countries. Now, speaking this morning, Mr. Cleverly said his visit was an opportunity to speak directly and unambiguously on areas of disagreement and work together where it is in our mutual interest to do so. He said it would allow the UK to re-establish lines of communication, and added that a lack of face-to-face engagement could lead to more opportunities for perhaps misinterpretation, mistrust, and errors. And that's why it was important that both of them meet face-to-face, deliberate, and feel things. So why not? As much the Bible says something. What is interesting, it says that as much as you can live peaceable with all men. So the UK is making a move, right? Well, maybe they're looking at our trade and looking at the impact, but maybe that move will ease the acceleration of China on taking over or doing whatever they want to do with Hong Kong, the way it is all going. Maybe it will ease it a bit. Who knows? Wow. So coming your way from Starr Radio UK. And ladies and gentlemen, this is where I bring the program to a close for this morning. Well, there's going to be a special program tomorrow, and Yomi is going to be telling you more about that during the Niger Voices, whatever happens. So wherever it is, stay tuned, don't you go away. But let's enjoy this tune, and as I do bring the program to a close, I say, is there going to be a domino effect in Africa with a coup d'etat going on? Wow, in the Sahel region it went on, in the West African region it was going on. However, this Iran is going on as well, in an oil-rich country where, you know what, the government has been in power for more than 55 to 56 years, and you know what, they've held power, and every time elections are held, they say, we want the majority. But information coming through, he says that Ali Bongo is under house arrest surrounded by his family, and one of his sons had been arrested for treason. Was he trying to organize some people to also outweigh the military? Is that what has happened? Well. We'll be bringing you more on that. So, I end up with his music. The Problem of Africa. When that song ends, you don't hear from me. It's been me, Archie, saying have a top of the day and bye-bye for now.
The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things. Them all go to universities. Universities award them degrees. Big degrees. Big degrees. MSc in stealing. Bachelor of Arts, mismanagement. Masters in looting. MSc in corruption. Bachelor of Science in nepotism. MSc in forgery. Bachelor of Arts in indiscipline.
This is Starr Radio UK.
In embezzlement. The problem of Africa.
Thanks for listening.
Africa